up, TUTV people? It's Avery.
And Miss Betty.
And we're gonna tell you about Halloween and how it's celebrated around the world.
Halloween is celebrated all around the world on October 31st, and modern day celebration including children dressing up, going down the street, and go trick-or-treat for some sweet and chocolates.
The origins of Halloween trace back to an annual Celtic pagan tradition called Samhain. This ancient religious celebration marked the end of the harvest and also announced the coming of winter. People would light bonfires and also dress up to ward off ghosts and spirits.
Today, Halloween is celebrated differently depending on the country, so let's find out.
In Mexico, Halloween, or Dia de las Brujas, which translates to Days of the Witches, is celebrated on October 31st. It is not a federal public holiday, but it is still commonly celebrated among children. Children will wear costumes and go trick-or-treating door to door, asking, "Queremos Halloween," or "We want Halloween." They may even ask for their calaverita, which refers to a sugar skull candy. The following days, November 1st and November 2nd, takes place an even grander celebration, Dia de los Muertos, or in English, the Day of the Dead. This special Mexican holiday dates back 3,000 years to pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. According to tradition, the gates of heaven open, and the spirits of deceased loved ones are able to travel from the spirit world to the reality of the living and reunite with their family. To celebrate and honor the dead, altars are built and placed in households, at grave sites, and also in certain public spaces. The altars, or ofrendas, usually include the deceased loved one's favorite foods, candy, also candles and decorations, as well as photos.
Do you know how Halloween is celebrated here in the United Kingdom? While Halloween is celebrated in some parts of the United Kingdom, it is overshadowed by British holiday, Guy Fawkes Day. This celebration takes place on November 5th and commemorates the failed assassination attempt on King James I by a group of Catholics, including Guy Fawkes. People celebrate Guy Fawkes Day across the country with bonfires, and it represents how Fawkes planned to blow up the English Parliament with barrels of gunpowder. The original Guy Fawkes Day was celebrated right after his execution. Bonfires were set up to burn effigies in symbolic bonds of the Catholic popes. Nowadays, people celebrate it with fireworks, parades, bonfires, and the effigies of Fawkes and the Pope.
In Guatemala, children often fly kites on the afternoon of October 31st, ahead of the festival of Barrietes Gigantes, or the Giant Kite Festival. This unique festival takes place the first few days of November. The origin of the festival remains unknown, although many say it began after the country's devastating earthquake in 1976, while others says it started nearly 3,000 years ago. During this celebration, people gather together to showcase their kites, dividing into different age groups. Children will fly smaller kites by hand, while adults and teenagers will fly bigger kites. Some aren't even airborne. The kite is usually made with paper and adorned with colorful patterns that indicate ancestral symbols. For example, the folkloric owl. This symbol represents the message of death in Mayan culture, and people create this kite as a motif urging suicide prevention. The kite itself also represents a bridge connecting the living to the dead. Therefore, people often will fly their kites over the grave sites of their deceased loved ones.
Alright, I think I'm in Ireland, and do you know that they celebrate Halloween with the Festival of Samhain? The ancient Festival of Samhain was originally celebrated in Ireland over 2,000 years ago. It celebrated the end of harvest season and the coming of winter. In modern days, children dress up in costume and trick-or-treat along their neighborhood. There's also many fun Halloween games to be enjoyed. For example, Snap Apple. Snap Apple includes an apple tied to a string and hung from a door frame or tree. The player then attempts to buy the hanging apple. Another game, Knock a Dolly, is a prank. Children will knock on the neighbor's door and then run away before the door is open. Bomb Break is a traditional Irish food during this holiday. A muslin wrapped treat is baked inside a cake and can foretell the eater's future. If you get a ring, it means you soon get married. And if you get a piece of straw, a prosperous year is guaranteed.
Hi guys, we're back in the studio. That was quite an adventure. So, as we've seen, Halloween and Day of the Dead celebrations take place all around the world in all sorts of different ways. So, while the traditional American Halloween experience of dressing up and getting candy and partying is celebrated across the world in countries such as Japan, we also have France and South Korea. We also know that there are countries that have their own holidays that are similar but not exactly the same to Halloween, and they celebrate either the dead or the conclusion of the harvest season.
For example, the Czech Republic, Duchiski includes visiting the cemetery and graves of the departed loved one.
Meanwhile, in China, locals celebrate a festival known as Ten Qi, meaning the Festival of Hungry Ghosts.
This Halloween season, we hope you enjoy the holiday with your friends and your family.
We wish you a happy autumn! Shenanigans!